Check out this cool Strat. This is a 78, and it's a hardtail. It's getting a cleanup and new strings today because tomorrow it's going to star in a Guys Downstairs video. And this thing is lightweight. In fact, let's weigh it. So, how do you weigh a guitar? Well, you take it to the bathroom and you get out your bathroom scale, and you're going to need two numbers. Let's get the numbers. There would be the first number. There would be the second number. Yeah, I know, coated strings, some of you hate them, but some of us can completely annihilate a set of strings in one set. I like to get 2 gigs out of my strings. Therefore, I will live with the coated strings. So back in the day, this guitar would have been known as a used guitar. Today, it's called a player's grade vintage guitar. Player's grade? Well, it has been refretted, but the biggest problem is 2 of these 3 pickups are original, one of them is not. And offhand, I don't remember which one of these pickups is non-original. That makes it a player's grade guitar. I just love the way this guitar feels and plays. Beautiful chime. And that weight, oh man. It's just a pleasure to play this guitar. Let's get strings on it so it can be the star of the show tomorrow. Now, I have no idea why Fender went away from the split shaft tuners. I love the split shaft tuners. They're every bit as easy as locking tuners. And of course, I've been using them for years. I mean, this is another guitar that's probably seen most all the bars between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. But I think they were a great idea. I think they're still a great idea. Now, everybody has their own way of dealing with these split shaft tuners. Mainly, it's where do you cut the string? Some guys go 1 tuner above. I like to go 2. So I'll go to this peg head. That's where I'll cut the string. Slash was a bad boy, so he's banished to the sunroom. He'll get over it. Again, I like to go 2 above, and that's where I cut the string. Stick it in the hole in the middle, and away we go. Also, I like to keep the wraps going underneath so that the last wrap ends up at the bottom. We'll get it in tune with the tuner when it's all done. And you got to stretch your strings. I stretch them till I can't hear them being out of tune. I do 1 string at a time unless I'm going to do a full in-depth cleaning. This is going to be a quickie one. I like to get the dust out from under the strings. I do it with each string as I clean it. Never did really know what to clean a maple board with. I suppose you could use mild soap and water. This one seems fairly clean. Okay, 2 up. It's going to be right there. You know, when I worked at a music store, I could string a guitar like this in under 10 minutes. It was a long time ago. And be sure to clean up the ends and so forth as you go. Because I'll tell you what, if your wife steps on one of these, you'll discover the extent of her vocabulary, words that you probably never heard before. Of course, if you're a guitar player, you might be in between wives. My helper has arrived. You're not helping. Thank you. Now, when you get to the B and E string, you don't have a second tuner to count to. Anyway, when you get to the B and E string, you can't really count up 2 tuners because there's not another tuner there. I would suggest err on, what I say, err on the side of caution. Go a little bit farther than you know that there's 2. These are skinny strings anyway. You got lots of room to wind them on the peg head. Someday I'm going to get a real workbench. Been saying that for 50 years. Okay, this thing is ready for a check on the actual tuner. Maybe look at the intonation, so forth, coat of polish, and I think it'll be ready to go. Another interesting thing about this, I'm looking at the B and E string. There's no springs on those. There never were since I bought it. I'll have to look into that. What else is special about this guitar? It's got a 5-way. I'm guessing that in 1978, Fender was still going with a 3-way switch. So that would be another modification that's been made to it. I don't know whether that would affect the value or not. Good grief. Guitar polish. I used to use just whatever furniture polish my wife had around. But when I got this little toolkit as a gift, it also came with Martin Company guitar polish. So, do you spray the polish on the guitar? Do you spray the polish on the rag? Let's read the directions and find out. Well, Martin says you can do it either way. You can shake well, hold upright, spray from 6 to 8 inches away from the guitar, wipe it immediately, or you can spray it on the rag and wipe immediately. It also says, if you swallow this, call the poison center right away. I don't tend to swallow it. I'm going to use the hold it upright, 6 to 8 inches away, spray it, and wipe it immediately. All right. Now, did you figure out the weight of this guitar? 10 points if you figured out how much this guitar weighs. I know guitar players are the smartest musicians on the stage, so I'm sure you all have. And I'll tell you what, for a Stratocaster, a 70 Strat, that is a great weight. One of the reasons why I love this guitar. I think I can safely say when I'm done, I will have the best looking 78 Strat at the gig tomorrow. That's it. See you later.